Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Crystal Flaffy, and today we're going to be talking about Arthur and in the Is This Astromon Good series that we're going on with here. Arthur is one of the other contract mons that you can get early on in the game with the Fire, Water, Wood, and then again later on with the Light and then the Dark contracts as well. So yeah, we're going to talk about Arthur real quick. I am recording this right after the last one, so there's that. Just want to say in the beginning, I don't have any Arthurs built, so I will not be showing off any of mine that I use at all. So just thought I would say that in the beginning of the video. So yeah, we're going to start off with Fire Arthur, which is the one that you can get in the contract, so very easily obtainable if you choose him. He is an attacker. Look at his variant real quick. I think I like the regular one. I don't know. Actually, I like the variant more. Yeah, I like the variant. So yeah, he's an attacker. His attack set is not as high as I'd like for an attacker. At least like 3,500. Like, come on. But anyway, that's fine because his his HP and defense are actually really good for an attacker. So that'll be important for something that we'll get to when we talk about gems and stuff. So that'll just be in a moment. Looking at his leader skill real quick, it is HP up in dungeons by 40 to 45%. Not super useful for most of the Arthurs, to be honest. Well, could be useful for light and dark, but, well, dark more so, but still. I don't know. It sucks that it's dungeon specific. It'd be great if it was PvP specific since all Arthurs are good for PvP. But we'll get into that soon. Looking at his skills, he's a stunner, just like Water Odin is, except that it's only his 3-star. It is a 100% one-turn stun, and then on his 5-star, it did get buffed recently in the balance patch. It used to be 60% 3-turn defense down, now it's 70% 3 turns. It's great for him. For skill books, brings up his stun to 2 turns, and it brings up his defense down to 90%. And then also gives a 15% damage boost on both. Where you would use him? Fire Arthur, I think he would probably best be used PvP. He is an attacker, so he could be good for offense, but I like him for defense, if I'm to be honest. Building him like a bruiser build for defense, like HP attack defense, is really good there. You can use that same build for offense as well, mind you. So there's that. But if you're gonna use him for offense, I'd recommend a more offensive build, like attack crit rate or HP attack. Something like that. But for defense, I'd go like HP defense or HP attack defense. Ideally for me, HP attack defense. But whatever suits you, go with it. Also, because he is a 100% stunner, he is really good for TOC 80 and 100. And then also he's pretty good for GB9. It's not like the ideal mon you'd want to use there, because like stun doesn't really help much with farming, but the AoE defense sounds pretty good, so there's that. Also early game, if you need somebody to just he'll be good there for you early game because he can survive longer than most other mons you'd get, and then also his attack is pretty good as well. And then also same thing for DB8. While not the perfect mon that you can use there early game, like once you start getting into dragons, he could be helpful with that. On my alt, I use him there. I use him there with Fire Succubus, Fire Miho, and I don't remember the Fire Knuckles, just because I didn't have another fire attacker, which I only need 1 continue, and the Miho is only level 50, so he's usually the last one to go down, so there's also that. So he's pretty good there. Anyway, that's going to be it for Fire Arthur. And we'll move on to Water, the one that I dislike the most, just because for PvP I use Fire Mons on offense, and he is all over PvP defense. So, for good reason, of course. He is really good for PvP defense. He is a balanced type with 32k HP. Pretty good attack, 2700, pretty good, and 2900 defense. I don't want his stats to be buffed at all. He's fine the way he is. I don't remember if he got a stat buff for the last update, but he did get a buff to his skills, which we'll talk about now. His 3-star is 100% morale boost, a 100% chance to restore 50% of own SP. So he'll get his active every 3 turns. He'll be able to use his active, not including orb generation or anything else like that. And then on his active is 70% chance 3-turn defense down. Used to be 60% chance, just like Fire Arthur, just buffed it 10%. Skill books do increase the morale boost to 60%, which is, it's not super helpful, you know, it doesn't really do much. It doesn't speed up the amount of, like, how many turns he'll get his bar full. I guess it's only helpful if the enemy uses Thirst or something, but I don't know. And then it also increases the attack down to 90% as well. And then there's a 20% damage boost on 3-star and a 15% damage boost on 5-star. Oxygen. Need it. Anyway, where you'd build him, most commonly you will see him on PvP defense. You'll normally be like HP defense on Pugilist, which is fucking annoying. I hate it so much. Anyway, that's one build you can go with. Also like HP defense, or HP attack defense as well. Pugilist, I hate recommending it, but because his 3-star does get his bar filled pretty quickly, Pugilist probably is the best set for him. Healer is also really good too. You know, there's that. I definitely go Healer just because I like Healer more than I like Pugilist because it's annoying. Sorry, dogs were barking again. You can also use Water Arthur for places other than PvP. Because of his 3-star, he would be pretty good for farming. If you build him a more offensive build, his attack isn't super great, but the fact that he'll get his bar full really quickly is very helpful there. You can definitely use him like if you're going to use him for farming, you might as well just use him for DB9, the Fire Dragon. Then also GB8 as well, but you don't really need him for that. They're much better farming mons you can get, like Water Mona. So, like, you can do it. It's just not necessary. But if you were to do it, you know, like crit rate, attack, I guess. I don't know. Just saying that there are other options other than PvP, but he does really shine most in PvP, so I do recommend that place more than any other. That is it for Water. We didn't look at his variant. Yeah, I like the variant more. Also, if you were to use him for farming, his variant skill would probably be it'd be very good to have Water for variant, so there's that. Next up, we have Wood. Here we go. Which, actually, funny enough, I did summon a variant Wood Arthur long time ago. I don't even use it. He's still in my box. Saving it for if I ever get light or dark. So I could, like, you know, make one of them variant. But fingers crossed, you know, it hasn't happened yet, but someday. Looking at his stats and stuff, he's an attacker. 3,800 attack, 28k HP, and 2,600 defense. So his stats are really good. Overall, really good. Looking at his variant, I really like the green armor. I do. Like, overall, I do think the color scheme for this one... Oh, I like the green cape. I didn't even notice that. I don't know. This is a tricky one. I don't know. I'm going to go with the variant. I like the variant more. Looking at his 3-star, HP Siphon, and it is greatly restored. And on its 5-star, it's 60% 2-turn stun. Books do bring it up to a 70% 3-turn stun. On AoE, that's so amazing. And then also it gets a 25% damage boost on his 3-star and a 15% damage boost on his 5-star. So there is that. Where you'd want to use him. PvP offense is the first thing that comes to mind. Again, same as Wood Odin in the last video. You'd really like him there because he'd be good for all the water mons you see on defense, like Water Arthur, for example, or Wildfang, Shiva, and Persephone. Those are the most notable ones that come to my head. There's also Sanzang, Nightmare. I don't know. I can't think of anything else right now. So yeah, it's really good for that. Using him there, crit rate attack, probably be best. But then also like attack defense or crit rate attack defense, something like that would be good. I've seen him on defense a little bit during special season because of course his active is amazing for that. But see, the thing about Wood Arthur is he's kind of tricky to build because his 3-star requires him to hit a lot of damage, but his 5-star is more beneficial for tanky mons. So you kind of need to pick which skill you want to utilize more. So that's just what makes him difficult to... You just have to make a lot of decisions with him. And I, being a very indecisive person, I find that difficult. So there is that. You can also use him for farming. GB7 would be pretty good. He'll be very helpful there if you get him early game. You don't really need him late game, which also if you are late game, you don't need to be watching this video. You probably already know this stuff, or you're just watching just to get another opinion, you know, whatever. Farming in general, really, there isn't a dragon stage there isn't a water dragon stage that you'd want to farm, so no need to talk about that. He'd be good for Dark Colossus, being able to heal himself, you know. I don't use mine there, but I can, because of his 3-star, he'd be really good. And then you can also use him for Titans as a damage dealer early game if you don't have any good CS mons for your wood team yet. So there's that. Other than like other builds you can use that I didn't mention, or that I forgot to mention, you could also use a like crit attack crit damage, or just attack crit damage. Because he is HP Siphon on his 3-star, if you use a survivability gem, I do recommend defense gem over HP gem, just so his heal is more effective. And that is going to be it for the Wood Arthur. Now we're going to go to Light, which, because of the changes in the recent balance patch, I want him so much more now. Same with Light Valkyrie, but like, I don't know which one I want more between the two now, but I do kind of wish I didn't go with Light Odin now, just because, well, not that Light Odin is worse than them. They all do different things. It's just these two seem more interesting to me now. But anyway, we can speak about them later. So right now we have Light Arthur here. He is an attacker. His attack stat is really high. I just noticed now that it is higher than Wood Odin that we spoke about in the last video. So push Wood Odin down a spot in the ranking, because I didn't want to go through the list. So he's probably like he's probably like 4th, 5th when it comes to highest attack stat in the game. His HP is also really good, and his defense, I believe both of them got buffed in the recent patch, if I'm not mistaken. I can bring that up right now because I do have it here. Yeah, they did. HP got a 10% boost and defense got a 3% boost. But the big deal with him, well, before we do that, we'll compare regular and variant. I like the variant a lot. Quick comparison, you know. Looking at his skills, his 3-star is 100% shock, 1 turn. Amazing. Very good. Definitely, when it comes to CC, definitely beats Fire Arthur. Shock is just superior, just done. But then his 5-star used to be Thirst. It used to be 80% 2-turn Thirst. but it was changed in the last patch to a 50% hunter, which is fucking amazing. Some people I know, I've heard people complain about it, say that it's a nerf, whatever. This is not a nerf, okay? He just got buffed so much because more people did complain about Thirst than people are complaining about Hunter, and for good reason. Hunter is amazing, especially because he has base 20 crit rate, so he's easier to gem, even if you don't have a square slot. But anyway, I digress. I'm not going to go off, okay? Where you'd use him? PvP defense. Offense. PvP offense. He's going to do so much work there. Just because the shock is really good, and then also Hunter just will destroy. It'll do a lot of damage. It'll also be really good for TOC 180, 80 and 100. Where else could use him? Be good for GB10. Definitely be good there. But only if you use like a full light team, because he will die pretty quickly if he's the only light mon you have there. Where else? You can use him for farming in general, just because of that Hunter on his 5-star now. You can use him on a Siphon set, on any place that you need a light attacker. So there is that. But ideally, like, PvP offense is the place you want to use him. And I would gem him the same way that I would gem Wood Arthur. So like offensive, like crit rate attack, crit rate attack, crit damage, crit rate attack. The only difference here is that between HP and defense gem, you can use either or, whereas Wood Arthur, as I said, I would recommend defense gem. So that's the only difference with how I would gem them. He can also even be used as Titan for Titans now, just because his Hunter will be doing a lot of damage. Of course, it's no CS damage, but it's still pretty good. So there is that. I don't have Light Arthur, but if I did, I would be happy. I would. Oh, and I think books bring his shock up to 2 turns, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know about the damage boost or anything. I couldn't check because I don't have Light Arthur on here or on my alt, so there is that. And then lastly, we'll move on to Dark Arthur. Here we are. And look at his variant real quick. I like the variant more just because of that purple. So nice, so nice. He is a tank. Looking at his HP is really good. It's just shy of 50k. It's one of the highest HPs in the game. Shiva, Light Shiva is number 1. What was number 2? I think number 2 is Wood Draka. I think. Because I know Wood Draka is like super high. Yeah, over 50k. And then Light Shiva's like 50k, but like closer to 51. I know hers is... Oh no, never mind. It's not that high. Okay. So yeah. Dark Arthur's probably 3rd highest. Definitely top 5. But probably 3rd highest. Looking at his skills... Oh, sorry. Forgot to look at his other stats. His attack set doesn't matter too much. And we'll get to that in a second when we talk about his skills. Defense set is pretty good though, so there is that. It'd be nice if his attack was a little higher for his 5-star, but it's alright. Looking at his skills, he has HP aggression on his 3-star, and that is why his attack being low isn't too much of a hindrance on him. It just affects his 5-star, which is sap for 100%, 3 types, 1 turn, which is really good. Hopefully, I don't know his book values, but hopefully books bring it up to 2 turns. If it does, that'd be fucking amazing. That'd be close to the best sap in the game that you can possibly get. Best sap in the game that you can get would be 100% 3 types, 3 turns. So, being 100% 3 types, even if it's just 1 turn, is still really good. Where you'd use him? You can use him in a lot of places, actually. He's really good for PvP. Especially defense. Sap is okay there now, just because of when they added the fact that it lowers resists a bit. So it is kind of helpful there, though if you use double HP aggression or something, it would have been better. Just for PvP defense. Having sap there is still okay. Ideally for GB10, he'd be really good there. With variant, his leader skill would be really good too. It would increase the damage on his 3-star, increase his survivability for him and the entire team. And then also the sap would be really good for the golem. So there is that as well. You can pretty much use him anywhere else you'd want to use an aggressor though. as I said, PvP, offense, defense are fine. Ideally defense, GB10, and then also DB10 as well. He'd be good there just because he'd be living long and giving that survivability to your team. I don't know how well he'd be good for doing auto on DB10, but if you're playing manual and you just make sure to always use his 3-star, you'd be pretty good for that. Because I don't think sap would be useful there at all. How I would build, as with all other aggressors, triple the aggression, so triple HP. You can go HP defense as well. His attack stat, his HP stat is high enough to where it wouldn't like hinder him too much to have only 2 HP gems, so he'd still have really high HP, especially if you're using him in dungeons, so you get that HP leader skill. And definitely on Ruin or Armor, so there is that as well. Other sets, just because he's a light, dark type, 0 resist, because you can't have your aggressors without resist, or else they'll just be CC'd the whole time. So you can go like Indomitability or Longevity. Those are other options, but of course Ruin and Armor are the ideal ones that you'd want to go with. As for the priority of the Arthurs, it depends on location as well. For PvP offense, I'd probably go like light, wood, fire, water, dark, maybe? Yeah, that sounds good. For defense, I would go water, dark, fire, light, wood. And then none of them are really super good for Titans or anything like that, or any other places. Most Arthurs are just like PvP-oriented mons, so you definitely want to use them there. And so yeah, I'm going to end the video there. Hope you enjoyed. Have yourselves a good day. And I'll see you guys all in the next video where we will be going over Valkyrie, the last of the contract mons. And then after that we will go, I think the one after that I'm going to do is Jacqueline, just because we're about to start up for Capture Festival in the next few days. So there is that to look out for. And yeah, goodbye.